Hello, Skeleton Key here with my August reading wrap up. And fair warning, this is going to be a little chaotic. Yeah, stuff is getting recorded in little spurts, and there's some stuff that I recorded earlier last month, and then is gonna get shoved in editing somehow. I'm not sure how. And this will probably go up after my September TBR. So, yeah, things are going to be a little weird and out of order, but I finished 14 books in August. This is Roomies by Sarah Czar and Tara Altebrando. And I would give this a really solid 4 stars. I mean, the only reason I wouldn't go higher is just because it's not for me. And there was a little bit of nostalgia about it's about these two girls on opposite coasts, and their senior year, or it's the summer before their freshman year of college, and they're going to be roommates. They've been assigned each other to be roommates, and so they're corresponding to set up logistics, and they end up developing a really, even though they're very different from each other, they develop a friendship over the summer through correspondence, and of course there's all the usual, teen drama stuff, and it was really well done, I thought. I really enjoyed it, and there was a little bit of nostalgia for me, but I mean, it's more. I'm old enough that a lot of it didn't resonate with me. I would definitely recommend it to a younger person. It's a nice book. It's really good. I think I've got a few clips of. I don't really want to call them book hauls, but of unpackaging some books I've received. I will probably have a few clips like that in this video. Probably just kind of tossed in at random, but we'll see. I don't want to do book haul videos. I thought about doing that, but when I get a lot of free downloads, and so I'm constantly getting books that I may not even really care that much about reading, but I'm like, it's free, sure. I don't feel like I have anything important to say or interesting to say about those books, so including those in a book haul, just seems kind of pointless to me. I'm like, yeah, I downloaded these books. I don't really know anything about them. I may never even read them, but yeah, that just seems pointless. And not terribly interesting for you. And then other times that I obtain books throughout the month, I'll probably just include that in whatever other stuff I'm filming at the time. But I think I've got a couple clips that I kind of set aside. It's like, oh, I'll do a book haul video, and then I didn't, and so I'll probably toss them into this mix at some point. Woohoo! I have mail from Amazon. Let's see what it is. Aha! It is 2 books off my wish list. Krista at Books and Jams put together a book exchange on Elfster, and so I'm participating in that. And the person who drew my name asked me for my wish list, which is I have a wish list on Amazon, but it's so far out of date because I tend to just put things on my to read list on Goodreads, and I know these 2 books were on that list, so looks like whoever drew my name, and I don't think there's anything that says who it was, so I'll go on Elfster and send a little thank you note. And I need to also see if the person whose name I drew has posted a wish list yet. So last I checked, they had not, and I poked them, and I'll go check and see if they don't have anything posted. I will probably just send something that I liked and hope they like it too. So the first book that I finished in August was Neuromancer by William Gibson. That was my pick for Book Snobs, which is a book club I belong to here locally. I picked it. I'd never read it, but I had read The Peripheral by William Gibson, and I really liked that. And, I'm a child of the 80s. So, that's when I was a teenager in the 80s. So I thought I really, really feel like I should have read some cyberpunk, some classic cyberpunk by now. And I've been wanting to read more classic science fiction and fantasy in general. So I thought, well, I know I liked The Peripheral. So let's go back and read Neuromancer. And of course now I had already picked that for the book club, and then I was realizing, oh, it's the first novel in that world, but then there's short stories or novellas, and so I need to go back and read those now. But Neuromancer, I generally liked it. It was very 80s. The Matrix owes it a lot. And I don't think they're denying that. I didn't really get into the Matrix, so I haven't really followed. I know there's been a lot of there is a lot of stuff devoted to the Matrix and analyzing it and its origins, and I just really I liked the first movie okay, but I'm like, major plot holes, and it just wasn't really my thing. And I watched the second movie, and there was some cool stuff in it, but again, I just didn't get caught up in it, and I never did watch. I think there was a third movie. I don't even I haven't even kept track of it to tell you how many Matrix movies there are. I am ignorant of the scholarship surrounding the Matrix, but my guess is that it is acknowledged that yes, it is very heavily influenced by Neuromancer. And those aspects of Neuromancer I did really enjoy. There were a lot of aspects to Neuromancer that I really appreciated, and I kind of like Gibson's just toss you in at the deep end and maybe you swim, maybe you sink. I like that approach. I don't like having stuff just spelled out for me. Um, Although, yeah, there were some info dumps here and there, but nothing like Snow Crash, which, oh my gosh, the info dumps. Um, and so, yeah, and there were parts of it that reminded me of Snow Crash. I I I liked the story overall. I didn't love it, but I really appreciate its place in the genre. So I don't know how many stars I'd give it. Probably three and a half, something like that. But yeah, it was a pretty good read. If you're looking to read some classic cyberpunk, I mean that world at least is where it started, and that's a good place to start, I think. And then maybe go back and read like Johnny Mnemonic and I forget what, Chrome Yellow, or is that's something else? I don't know. But read the stuff, the short stories or novellas that came before it, um, and kind of led into that world. And next, I finished The Beast of Besik by Amelie Howard. I actually listened to it on audio from the library. This is a copy that I bought in January to send to my cousin, and I still haven't done that. got her a signed copy and everything, and so yeah, I need to like actually get to the post office and mail stuff, and hopefully the post office is still there. Gotta show the post office some love. So I've got a lot of stuff that I need to get to the post office and get out, but don't really have a whole lot new to say. I've talked about this book quite a bit, giving it probably 4 stars. It was really enjoyable. A lot of fun banter between the romantic leads, and an interesting treatment of what I think is probably a kind of toxic trope. Um, and I still haven't read La Belle et la Bête, so I can't really talk a lot about that trope because I really don't know much about it. I have a lot of assumptions, but I could be, you know, I could be really being really stupid about it because I don't know what I'm talking about. But I talked about that quite a bit in the book Hibernation video, and also for the book Hibernation readathon, I read A Night to Remember by Walter Lord, which is about the sinking of the Titanic. That was a very interesting read. That was fascinating. And I don't have a whole lot more to add about that book. But if you're looking for some actual history to read about, and or you watch the movie Titanic and want to know more about the real history behind that movie, I would, or even if just any of the topics like shipbuilding and disasters, if any of that appeals to you, definitely that should be on your reading list. Then I read Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata, and also for book Hibernation, and that was also on audiobook from Hoopla. I think that might have been my favorite book of book Hibernation. I don't know, I'll have to think about that, but definitely way up there. Probably 4.5 stars, if not 5. I thought it showed perfectly how neurodivergent people are dismissed, and just how just the treatment that people get for being different and not conforming. And it's very interesting that it's set in Japan, where conformity is a huge deal. But even here in America, where individualism is prized, but only certain kinds of individualism, you still have to be you still have to conform to a lot of norms here. And I really enjoyed Keiko, and I liked how it showcased how neurodivergent women are especially vulnerable in ways that other women aren't, and especially in how her pseudo boyfriend treated her, and how she even wound up in that situation. I will say the ending really surprised me. So I highly recommend that one. It's really short, but it really packs a lot in there. Hey there, it is Editing Stina in June 2021. Yeah, it's been a while. And I'm in Missouri for several weeks. And and you'll be getting a nice little, little, probably several videos. It started off as my June TBR, and it just kept snowballing, and now it's like a travel vlog. Um, so you'll be getting that at some point in the hopefully not too distant future. So I figured, okay, I want to get something quick posted, and then I was going through my hard drive, trying to clean up my hard drive, and I thought, oh, wait, I missed this wrap up. I'll just toss this up there real quick. And oh my god, it was such a mess, as you've obviously seen so far. And it ended. And okay, so I finished 14 books in August. And I haven't been counting as I've been editing, but I certainly have not talked about 14 books. So I could go through all my notes and come up with some commentary on the other books I read in August last year, and complete this video properly, but I kind of don't care, and I'm guessing y'all don't care either. And oh yeah, I got a sunburn today. Joy. So I'm just kind of not in the mood for doing lots of extra work. Um, if I really don't have to. So I'm just gonna wrap this video up here, and yeah, we will call it good for August 2020. I hope this ridiculousness has entertained you for a little bit. Um, and I'll get back. So I'll get back to finishing up my winter stuff, and hopefully I'll get you some actual June content before June is out. Uh, in the meantime, please like and subscribe, and see you around.